Hi there, and welcome to Hudden Therapy. We're a team of specialists specializing in helping clients with anxiety, depression, PTSD, and relationship issues, and any negative behaviors you've got that are going on. And we specialize in helping them heal this, even if it's happened for years. And the way we do this is through our methodology called root cause therapy. So, our intention is to help you heal these issues going on for you by getting to the root cause of why it's happening in the first place. For example, I want you to imagine any issues you've got are like a weed growing in your garden. So imagine that's a weed that's growing up in your garden. Maybe this is negative thoughts that keep happening. Maybe this is negative behaviors that you don't like. They just can't, seem to stop no matter what you do. And so I want you to imagine it's like a weed growing in your garden. And what you can do is sometimes you can talk about it, talk about the problem and what's been going on at kind of like a surface level. So talking about how it's affecting you this week, this month. But what that looks like is it's kind of like mowing the lawn of the garden. And by mowing the lawn, the weed will maybe disappear temporarily, but it might, and it often does, we see grow back. Because the way to actually remove the weed and these issues happening in your life is you've got to get to the roots as why it's happening in the first place. And when we get to the roots with clients and we dive into when did this start? Why is this problem happening for you in the first place? What we're doing is instead of working with the mind on a conscious level, we're working it on a more of a subconscious level. So the mind has two parts. We've got the conscious part of the brain, which is 10%, and the subconscious part of the brain, which is 90%. The conscious part of the brain includes things like willpower. It's like us trying to stop a bad behavior just from willpower alone. And that's only 10%, so it's actually not that strong as, it's made out to be. And then there's the subconscious part of the brain, which is the roots, which is why it keeps happening, which is why it keeps showing up. And in the subconscious part of the brain, that includes past events, past things people have said to you about that. It includes beliefs, it includes traumas, behaviors. That's all happening in the subconscious part of the brain. So to give you an example, it's the same thing as, like, for example, you might get in the car and you might be at that stage where you don't really need to think about it anymore and you can just drive somewhere automatically. So that's using the subconscious part of your brain, the 90%, where you don't need to consciously think about it. And the problem with this, though, is all the negative things, negative behaviors or negative thoughts or negative emotions that keep showing up in our life are also that part of the brain. So what we find and what we do is we use root cause therapy to address the issues in the roots, because when we find what's going on in the roots and work on it there, then the weed doesn't keep growing back. Root cause therapy is about working with the subconscious mind and asking it, when did this problem start? So we're pretty much leading you to actually heal yourself. And we get you to access the entire database of your mind and everything that's ever happened in your unconscious mind to get all the information we need to actually work out what's going on for you. And you're still fully conscious while we do this. You're still fully aware. This is just a more controlled way of handling it. So it's similar to maybe when you're in the shower or driving and a thought or a memory pops into your mind. It's similar to that. It's just, this is just a more controlled way of bringing up those memories and healing them. So pretty much what I want you to do is I want you to see this here, and I'm going to draw a timeline of your entire life. So imagine that line I just drew up here is a timeline of your entire life, and I'm going to put an N in the middle for now. And the past, these two lines here, are everything that's happened in your past, and then things in your genetics and DNA and past lives. If you believe in it, if you don't, that's completely fine too. But pretty much what we tend to see is what happens is someone who isn't feeling great in the now and is feeling maybe anxious, depressed, or having behaviors that keep showing up, what we tend to see is it's because of in the past, there's been all of these events that have happened that's led them up to feeling like that in the now. And what we see is with clients or with just anyone in general, say they're thinking about the future and something that might happen that's not great, and they're worried that there's this event that could happen in their future. What happens is that triggers these past events and makes them feel really scared and anxious about this future event. And that's what we call anxiety. So what we do in root cause therapy is we heal these past events so that in the now and in the future, you can feel more present and feel better. In root cause therapy, we like to use Dr. Hawkins' emotions map to explain this. So here's the emotions map with all the emotions. At the top are the positive emotions such as love, joy, peace. And at the bottom are all the negative emotions such as shame, sadness, fear. Everybody, we all want to feel these top emotions, right? Of these feelings of love and joy. But like we were saying before, we go through events in our life and people say things to us or circumstances happen and they bring us down into these negative emotions and make us feel really bad. And this leads to us having negative thoughts and just feeling bad in general, or having anxious thoughts about the future. And so what we do generally, what we see is nobody likes to be in a constant state of pain or even just a consistent state of pain. So we tend to reach for something to take us out of these negative emotions, even if it's just temporarily. So this could look like alcohol or drugs or overworking or over exercising or just constantly keeping busy, something that distracts us or helps us escape from these negative emotions so that we can feel these positive emotions. But what happens is as soon as that thing we did to take us out of these negative emotions, as soon as that stops, bam, all of the negative emotions come out again. So what we do in root cause therapy is we heal these negative emotions that are going on for you, that have happened in the past through events, through maybe things that people have said to you or circumstances you've gone through. And we heal that and work through and release those emotions. And what that does for clients is it actually, instead of them constantly feeling these lower emotions, it brings up their baseline. So they're generally feeling better. And their standard, their baseline is feeling better, more relaxed. And then of course, you go through the day and it will have fluctuations, but it's starting at this higher point, and in general, they feel better. So if you'd like to book in a session for root cause therapy, please contact us and we'll absolutely support you with what you're going through.